Nickel Plate Road 765 Memories Part 2. Last year, we did our first memories videos where me and Action on some of the videos were talking about certain memories we had over videos we had shot at that point over the course of 2 years. And the 765 memories video was done then. Seeing how I and my grandfather chased the 765 during the Joliet Rocket and the Steam in the Valley excursions last year, I felt it was time for another memories video. And this time, instead of reiterating the 2016 videos and the 2017 videos, I'm going to more or less talk about the 2018 chases with the 765. The Nickel Plate Road 765 is the one steam locomotive I've seen over the course of 4 years. I saw it in 2015, and it was the first time I'd seen a steam locomotive under steam at that point in 18 years. I saw it again the summer afterwards in 2016 when they renumbered it the 767 and gave it its Mars light back. In 2016, we also rode behind the 767 during the Steam in the Valley events. I only chased it once in 2017, and that was when I went to the second weekend of Steam in the Valley, and I had a fun time at Steam in the Valley in 2017. So that being said, I wanted to go back to Steam in the Valley after 2017 because I wanted to try and do Saturday and Sunday, and I wanted Action and Roll to tag along with me. So one of our earliest trips, adventures that we were discussing back in 2018 was going back to seeing Steam in the Valley in 2018 because it was an annual event. And the Cuyahoga Valley is a beautiful place to host a steam locomotive. Even though there isn't that many grades there, like there is chasing 425 or even on the Somerville excursion, there is still the grades there, and the 765 sounds great in the valley. Pacers there can kind of make it a little bit of a nightmare, which I'm sure a lot of people can attest to, but Steam in the Valley is still a great time. So when the Joliet Rocket was announced for 2018, I knew I wanted to go, and having already asked Action and Roll to go to Steam in the Valley, I decided to ask my grandfather again so we could have another weekend getaway, this time in Chicago. My grandfather agreed. Well, then there was the Amtrak dilemma, which was the most devastating news in the excursion world of 2018. While this wasn't an Amtrak-sponsored excursion with the 765, there were still some issues about getting coaches in that. And luckily, the Fort Wayne Railroad Historical Society was able to work that out. So my grandfather and I went to the Joliet Rocket together. I got him a regular coach ticket because he did not want to go in the open air car. And of course myself, I got an open air car ticket, and it was a blast. I cannot recommend the Joliet Rocket enough. The prices might be up there a little bit. Like, I know it was $200 for the open air car, but it was totally worth it. The 765 on the Joliet Rocket excursion was one of the few excursions of 2018 on the main line, and was one of the few excursions of 2018 to see a steam locomotive at speed. When we chased the Union Pacific 844 during the Cheyenne Frontier Days excursion, it was going about 60 miles an hour. For the Joliet Rocket, a guy who was in the open air car with us had a cell phone that had some sort of speed GPS app. I don't know what exactly it was, but it tracked us at going between 55 and 60 miles an hour depending on what stretch of track we were on. And being able to ride an open air car behind a steam locomotive that's going at 60 miles an hour was phenomenal. And as you saw in the video, I had a great time in the open air car. And when you get to LaSalle Street Station, it was great because they had a band there playing 1940s music. They had a lunch that was included in it. You got drink tickets so you could get drinks. And it was just the perfect day for it. It was sunny out. They even did a photo run by at the station, which I thought was cool. Although I would have liked to have captured that run by better. After that, me and my grandfather went and we found just different locations on the line. Only one shot, and it's the first time ever a shot had to be discarded because some guy bumped into my grandfather during his first attempt at Tinley Park. This was honestly, while it was not the best video from 2018, it was personally my favorite excursion of 2018, and with the whole PTC thing going into effect this year, I really hope the Joliet Rocket can happen again. And if it can't happen this year because of PTC, it's understandable. But I hope in the future it does happen again because Metro is one of the few places that allows a steam locomotive to get its speed. A year before the Joliet Rocket, the 765 was clocked in at about 70 miles an hour on the return trip because Metro allowed them to open up the throttle. 765 in general puts on a great show. Steam in the Valley this year. I was hoping for it to be a little bit better, but unfortunately a few last minute things canceled roll and action being able to go. So it was really up to me and my grandfather. We went, and once again we had a great time. My grandfather actually liked the 765, noting that it had the best steam locomotive whistle he's ever heard. And he saw the 1225 last year. He liked the 1225, but he liked the 765 better. And of course, you all know my opinion. I do like the 1225 better when the flying number boards aren't up. But Steam in the Valley this year was a success. I was able to chase a Friday night during Friday night evening hours, which initially we thought was supposed to be a complete rain out, but the storm missed the Cuyahoga Valley. I even was able to get the run-bys at Indigo Lake. It was another great time with my grandfather. I didn't get all the shots I would have wanted to, but hey, I wouldn't be able to go back this year if there is a Steam in the Valley this year, and I do hope there is another Steam in the Valley this year. While there is other excursions I do want to focus on this year, I specifically want myself in action to be able to go back to Steam in the Valley. But Steam in the Valley 2018 was a great time. Those 2 weekends were great times bonding with my grandfather. And as always, the 765 has become one of my favorite steam locomotives, so you can for sure be expecting the 765 in future videos. Anyhow, I'm set.